Hi, Shivani.
Hello.
How are you? Hi, Shanti. I will give you permission to record. Oh, okay. Hi, Maureen. Okay. Good. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I shall just share my screen. Hello, everybody. Today we are talking about Nakshatras Hasta to Mula. And this picture is of Brihaspati, Jupiter. And this is me at a Shiva temple. So we start with the chanting. Om Shri Vigneshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Vigneshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Vigneshwaraya Namaha. This is a different chant for Lord Ganesha. Here it is Vigneshwaraya, remover of obstacles. That's what this is. And this photo is of the temple. There's a temple called Vignahar temple, which is part of the 8 Ganesha temples pilgrimage. Om Shri Vigneshwaraya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahman Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Budhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavo. Om Dati Shankatushārabham Shirodaranavasambhavam Namami Shashinam Somam Shambho Mukatabhushanam. So today we are doing the final Nama mantra today of Ketu. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. I put multicolored here because Ketu's color is multicolored. That's what Ketu is about. And so there's a practice you can do is you can do the Navagraha Nama Mantra Mala. So mala is like this, just beads. And you chant the Nama mantra for all the planets, 108 for each of them. Begin with sun on Sunday and continue for the week to Saturday. And then next week you can do Ketu on Tuesday and Rahu on Saturday. And you can also do all the mantras as a mala, like I'm going to do just now. And basically what you do is you do each mantra 108 times if you want to do that. And if you're doing 108 times, you start the mantra practice with Ganesha mantra and end it with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So here we see now, this is the Navagraha mantra mala. So Sunday, Om Suryaya Namaha. Moon on Monday, Om Somaya Namaha. Mars on Tuesday, Om Mangalaya Namaha. Mercury on Wednesday, Om Budhaya Namaha. Jupiter, Thursday, Om Guruve Namaha. Venus on Friday, Om Shukraya Namaha. Saturn on Saturday, Om Shaniye Namaha. And then Rahu. Next week you do Rahu on Saturday. Om Rahuve Namaha. And Ketu on Tuesday. Om Ketave Namaha. Or alternatively, if you want to do like all the mantras together, you can do it like I'm just going to do for you. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Somaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Budhaya Namaha. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shaniye Namaha. Om Rahuve Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So after the end of the mantra, you say, please planets be at peace on 3 levels, mind, body, and soul. And you finish this kind of the Nama Mala. So also I'd like to tell you about the Vedic conference. I told you last week as well. It's a Vedic knowledge conference, August 31st to September 4th. And it's at Shivananda Yoga Farm. You can look at it, shivanandayogafarm.org. And if you go to the programs, you'll find it under the programs. And many of the Swamis from Shivananda also study with me. And there's Swami Gyaneshwara, Swami Adi, Swami Sita, who's my friend, and she's also studied with me. And you'll meet them, and you'll also big faculty with Jyotish as well as Vedic astrology subjects are there. And you can get all the information at shivanandayogafarm.org. I suppose if you're living in USA or California, it's easy for you to come. If you can, it would be very nice. And Swami Sita is having a puja for my birthday. My birthday is 15th August, but she's doing it because that's when the conference is, 1st of September. Many of my students will be lecturing, including Bill Ramdas Sinclair and Lalita Krishnan. And my lectures are going to be on planetary war and retrograde planets. So I hope you can, at least some of you can come. So I've been talking about the nakshatras, and my book on nakshatras has a lot of information there that you can pick up and study. And so let us start with the class. So far we are learning the meaning, rulers, etc. for all the nakshatras. This helps in natal analysis, getting to know the nakshatra personalities. You can study the nakshatras of all the planets. Important ones, of course, are moon, ascendant, sun. We are actually not focusing on techniques just now. Techniques will be taught later, year 2, year 3, but we are looking at more to know that these nakshatras exist, what they are, what signs they are. That is very important part of our study. So today we are starting with Hasta. And this is Surya. And one of the ways you can identify Surya is that he has 7 horses. You can see if you count them, there are 7. And often in his hand, he has a lotus. And Hasta means the hand. Its symbol is also the hand. The hand reflects the destiny of an individual and the individual effort. Hasti also means elephant, and there's a very famous temple called Shri Kala Hasti. That people go there to worship Lord Shiva, but also for Rahu Ketu worship. Hasta is 10 to 23 degrees 20 Virgo, ruled by the moon. Sign ruler is Mercury. Deity is Savitar. Symbol is the hand. Animal is buffalo. First dasha is moon, if moon is placed there. Hasta Padas, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Aries is Ashtamamsha, Taurus is Pushkara. So the first pada of Hasta is Ashtamamsha. 5th cycle of development of the soul begins. This is the further involvement into the world of tamas, from where the soul struggles to find balance. Devata is Savitur. Savitur is a form of Surya and one of the Adityas, the 12 sons of Aditi. Aditi represents infinity, and her sons, the zodiac signs, are different expressions of her eternal energy. So here again we can see Surya, and this one he doesn't carry the lotus because this is Surya form of Vishnu, because he has the chakra in his hand, but he's sitting on a lotus, and you can see the 7 horses. So Shweta Avatara Upanishad says, Savitar, by guiding us to manage the mind, brought the light of Agni down to earth. Agni deals with the fire of intellect. With that, we can obtain heaven and inspire them to shine their great light on us. So one of the key aspects of Hasta is that we must learn how to manage our mind, how to, that unsettled mind that we have. Savitur is the deity invoked in the Gayatri mantra, the most important chant connected to the Vedas. Hasta, through the blessings of Savitur, are able to bring ancient wisdom to earth and explain it to ordinary individuals. This ancient knowledge can only come down once we have learned to manage the mind, and this allows us to find the divine light. Because the mind is full of noise and disturbance. So once the mind is quietened, then all the light can shine. So there's a mantra, the Gayatri mantra. Here I'm going to chant it for you. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. So the traditionalists will chant this mantra 3 times a day, morning, noon, and evening. So symbol is the hand. And here I've got a hand with henna on it, just for artistic. But hand shows our destiny. The right and left hands are positive and negative, male, female energies, past and future lives. If you know how to study the hand, you can see the destiny in the hand of the person. 4 fingers of the hand show the 4 motivations: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. 3 digits of the finger show the 3 gunas: rajas, tamas, sattva. 3 doshas: vata, pitta, kapha. 4 fingers also indicate the 4 directions: north, south, east, west. Fingers and thumbs, they show the 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, touch, and the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So you see, in the hand, your complete destiny is there. Yoni is the buffalo. And this is kind of interesting because buffalo is a very rough animal. And it's very stubborn and angry, but it's also very productive. It gives a lot of milk. It helps in farming. But it's not appreciated so much. So sometimes if you are Hasta, you may find that people don't appreciate you. Rashi ruler and exalted in Hasta is Mercury. Mercury is about intellect. The intellect is bright and pure. Hasta focuses on the mind and bring out the best. It can also be too analytical and worried about details, but specifically small details, you know. And I think if you have Hasta moon, it is good to do meditation and chanting so that your mind is calm. Hasta's planetary ruler is the moon. So this is a nakshatra after Ashlesha nakshatra. We studied Ashlesha last week. Ashlesha is in the sign of Cancer with Mercury nakshatra ruler. Here we have in the sign of Mercury, moon nakshatra ruler. So the mind is very powerful here. Hasta develops potential through self-effort and understanding the laws of nature. Moon rulership makes for changing perspectives and moving realities. Hasta has the quality for individual to change, to grow in different directions. Kanya Rashi, Hasta can know everything, at least they think they know all. If they can either give them It can either give them immense power or restrict their personal growth. Sometimes Hasta think they know too much and therefore they don't open themselves to further knowledge. They feel by controlling the flow of their destiny, they can become what the soul wants them to be, achieve their soul's desires. But they can sometimes limit themselves to more material desires and try to control the limited vision. So this is the chart of Kate Winslet. She's a very famous British actress. Most of you may know her from Titanic, but she has done a lot of roles and she has also got few Oscars and many acting awards. And she has something very unusual in her chart. If you look at her planets here, ascendant 17 degrees, Sun 17, Moon 19. So she has ascendant, Sun and Moon all in Virgo, and Mercury also. But ascendant, Sun and Moon all are in Hasta Nakshatra. So you see here, right here, 3 Hastas. So she is very much, that mental. She uses her mind to craft her acting, of her thinking, her analytical skills. So you see her Mercury is in Chitra Nakshatra. So although they are all together, the 3 ascendant, Sun, Moon, these are the 3 nakshatra. It's quite rare to have all the 3 in one sign and in one nakshatra. So in the class we have so nobody is here. Sophia and Lulu have the chart, but they are not here. So I'm only looking at charts for people who are attending. And if I missed you, then just remind me. So then we come to Chitra, and Chitra's Devata is Twatshar. Here we can see him. And Chitra means a picture. It can be the picture of the soul that is obscured to us, that we need to find. The secret picture of our life that Chitragupta keeps. Chitragupta is the keeper of Akashic records. And it's very much connected to Chitra Nakshatra. So Chitra is 23 degrees 20 Virgo to 6 degrees 40 Libra, ruled by Mars, sign ruler Mercury or Venus. Deity is Twatshar, symbol is the pearl, animal is tiger, and first dasha Mars if moon is placed there. See, all this information you have to remember. It may take some time, but you should make cards for yourself or make a way of how you, a memory tool for yourself. Chitra Padas are Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Virgo and Libra are Vargotama. So Chitra has 2 Vargotama Padas. And this is the Chitragupta temple. When you go to Chitragupta temple, which is very rare to find in India, you'll find that there is a box, and in the box there is a book. The book is never opened, and the box is what is, because the box is containing the life records of everybody. First time I visited a Chitragupta temple, it was a big effort to try to find it. This one is a small village, but in 2024, we are going to the Chitragupta temple in Kanchipuram. It's opposite to our hotel, so we are going to visit that. I always visit when I'm there. The Devata is Twatshar, the ruling deity of Chitra, is the celestial architect. So sometimes, Chitra very good at organizing, architect, designing, creativity. His responsibility is to fashion the outer persona of the individual. Symbolically, Twatshar take an uncut stone and make it into a beautiful statue. The uncut stone is the human being encased in the world of matter. Chitra is bound in tamas, their true beauty hidden. So sometimes, Chitra's true beauty never comes out. It is just worldly and practical, but most of you who are studying here will be looking at that, more spiritual, cutting away. So Twatshar begins to cut away at the hard personality or outer casing. This process is extremely painful for Chitra as they feel torn apart, but slowly their inner light shines through. So there are two types of chitra, one before they discover themselves and one then they refashion their personality. The symbol of chitra is the pearl, and pearl is found in a hard shell. Until the shell is broken, the lustrous pearl does not emerge. To make a pearl takes a long time. In the same way, for the pearl within a person to appear takes many cycles of life and death. This breaking of the shell is a difficult process. Usually means an individual has to make immense changes before their true personality can shine. So you see that the Twachar, the Devata, is cutting away your stone, hard stone, to make a new beautiful statue of you. And then there's a hidden pearl inside, which is also takes effort to find your inner self. Yoni is the tiger. Tiger is the fiercest animal in the wild, and it's very difficult to tame. So Chitra can be very fierce and independent. Also here you see the tiger. He hides in the bush. You can't see the difference. So there are two types of Chitra. One which are very flamboyant, very visible, and the other ones who like to hide in this bush and difficult to find them. Mars is the planetary ruler. Mars has plenty of courage. Mars gives you the courage to externalize your potential regardless of personal cost. Your personality depends on whether you have discovered your potential or not. You begin life when your inner pearl is well hidden. You are controlled by your desires and can be lazy and selfish. However, from an early stage, you are aware that there is more than meets the eye. And in order to externalize that, you need Mars, because you need courage and confidence to bring that out. Venus is debilitated in Virgo Chitra. Venus's exact debilitation degree is 27 degrees of Virgo, and generally you will think Venus in all of Virgo is debilitated, but Chitra Nakshatra, Chitra Virgo, it is in its exact debilitation, and it is the last pada. Venus is the only planet that is debilitated in the pada where it is also Vargotama. So that's very interesting aspect of Venus, that there is a certain strength in its debilitation as well. Rashi Virgo. So Virgo Chitra are greatly perfectionists and analytical, whereas Libra Chitra more trying to find balance and harmony. They can also be better at business skills. But here, for Venus, it's very interesting that Venus goes from being in debilitation in Virgo straight to its own sign in Libra. So, just one day's difference could mean you have Virgo or Libra. So here we have George W. Bush. He is, moon is in Chitra and first pada of Chitra. So I'm wondering whether he is, I was thinking about him, it doesn't seem he's a politician, doesn't seem so much of a spiritual personality. But he was, before he came out to be the president, he was quite hidden. So that could be one part of his personality. And then he came out and he was the architect of many ideas that public didn't like, but he was the planner there. So that could be also Chitra. And then interestingly, post his presidency, he's now painting. He's become an artist. So he does quite a lot of art and painting, and he's had exhibitions as well. So here we can see in his chart, moon is in Chitra, and so Bindu has moon in Chitra, you can see here. Chitra Padatu, she's got a Libra moon. Moon is Vargotama, seeking balance and harmony. What is important for you, Bindu, is that moon is your Lagna lord as well. So definitely there should be some connection with Chitra moon that you have, and harmony and balance, but also finding your inner pearl, refashioning your personality. That is definitely there. And Sue, we see again Chitra, 14 Nakshatra Padatu. This would be Chitra Virgo. Padatu also is Vargotama. So Vargotama is a very important position for the moon to be in. So Chitra, 50% of time in Chitra, you would have Vargotama moon. So that is a good factor here. So we go to Swati, and in Swati means the sword. Sword can be used for negative and positive reasons. Swati carries the sword as a tool for self-advancement, cutting through competition, obstacles in their path. Swati is the name of the wife of Surya. Swati is totally in Libra, 6 degrees 40 to 20 degrees Libra, ruled by Rahu. Sign ruler is Venus. Deity is Vayu. Symbol is the coral reef. Animal is the buffalo. We met the buffalo also in Hasta Nakshatra. First dasha is Rahu if moon is there. And here we see this is Vayu, the photograph here. And Swati Padas, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Pisces is Pushkara, and the 5th cycle of development ends. So you saw Hasta to Swati, the padas are the same. They're not same, but Aries to Pisces, you get all the padas. Devata is Vayu. Vayu, the wind, rules material world along with Agni, fire, and Surya, sun. Vayu controls the intellect. Vayu is the prana, the life breath or the life force within humans that connects him to the eternal energy. Vayu is the essence of speech, purifier. He can have a gentle form or a very destructive form. So if you have Swati moon or planets, you have to be very careful that you don't get that hurricane level wind. You want a gentle, sweet breeze. And Devata is also Kubera, who's the form of Vayu. Kubera is the god of wealth and is the manifestation of Vayu. Vayu arose out of the mouth of Brahma and was blowing hard, disturbing the peace and showering hailstones. Brahma calmed Vayu down by making him the guardian of wealth, Kubera. But you see, what is there with Vayu is that when he first emerged, he was just blowing and he was destructive and negative. And then Brahma gave him a job to do. So the job meant that you put your mind into a proper direction, then that is a very good thing to do. So if you're Swati, especially, you must direct your thinking. And Hanuman, he is the god of, son of Vayu. So sometimes you see that people with Vayu, very courageous, but also very respected. Hanuman is one of the most popular deities in India, in the world also. And the symbol is the coral. Coral has a hard outer sheath, but is self-propagating. It lives in the marine environment that it both affects and is affected by. This symbolizes the human being. He lives in the world which influences his life, and in turn, the human also influences the life around. So it's a two-way street. Both sides influence each other. Swati influence those around them. In turn, they use the influence of the society to improve, maybe to spoil themselves also. But one of the things I find with Swati is that Swati, kind of this coral reef, it's a microclimate. Swati tend to live in their little own world. Whether it's a small world or a large world, they tend to live in their own world. And Yoni is the buffalo, and we saw buffalo in Hasta. And, you know, buffalo can be very fierce and very raw type of energy, but it's also productive. So again, with the buffalo, your energy, you have to use it productively, especially with Swati. And I think it's very important to be productive. Surya is debilitated in Swati. In Swati, sun forgets its spiritual purpose, getting involved in pleasures and pain of relationship. Therefore, it becomes debilitated. For a moment, it's not bothered about moksha or enlightenment, which is its primary motivation. So here we see Surya. Very often you see that people with moon in Swati, they don't want to go alone. They will have either, it's not always romantic relationships, but they want to have a partnership with somebody. They don't want to do things on their own. Parashurama, the Venus incarnation of Vishnu, he's a warrior Brahmin who kills Kshatriyas like the sun. So here Vishnu takes a rebirth as Parashurama to kill the Kshatriyas, which are warriors, but the corrupt Kshatriyas, the corrupt kings, the corrupt negative kings. So this is a story of Parashurama. Ruler is Rahu. Rahu creates the desire for success, wealth, finance, ability to take risks. Many billionaires are born in Swati. Bill Gates, he has his son in Swati. Swati is very good at business. And you also see Swati with, what is it? Hillary Clinton, she also has son in Swati. But you'll see other wealthy people, because remember, this nakshatra is also linked to Kubera. Rashi is Libra, and just see this Libra. It's actually an Indian businessman here. He's weighing the goods, not justice. So there's a business attitude with Libra and Swati. To be a true Swati, they should live their life fully, but also try to remain detached from it and find balance that Libra seeks. Yet, experience of full involvement into earthy materialistic pleasures brings dissatisfactions, as the scales will be too biased on one side and get out of balance. So it's very important for Swati to find a balance between their worldly desires, needs, and the spiritual needs. And this is a very famous Bollywood actor, and he has moon in Libra, Swati Nakshatra, and he's also became famous always had a partnership. You know, his wife was a big supporter of him, and also partnerships in business with his brother. So that some kind of relationship aspect, not wanting to go it alone, is important for Swati. And there you can see Moon in Swati. And let us see who's Swati here in the class. So this is Maureen. I saw you here, Maureen, when you came. So here we see Swati here. And see, you have Moon and Mars both in Libra, but Mars is in Vishakha Nakshatra and just the Moon is in Swati. And here you can see here, Moon is Swati. Also, we already studied Hasta, your ascendant is Hasta, so you can see whether you have inherited some qualities of that. And Saturn is also in Hasta. So you see, when you're looking at your chart, you're trying to see what are the qualities, what are the things of the other nakshatras. This is like a learning curve for you. It may not be that you understand everything, but you know, at least you know your moon's position and other nakshatra positions as well. And Sandy again, Virgo, Hasta ascendant, moon in Swati. And so you can see that here. And one of the things in your chart I'm seeing, Sandy, is that you have Jupiter, Mars, and Rahu all in Magha Nakshatra, 1, 2, 3. So there's quite a lot of influence of Magha. You see, you start looking at your chart, you start seeing some signature, something that is important there. So any questions or any comments, anything? Maureen, do you identify with your Swati?
Yes,
Yes.
I have always partnerships.
Yes.
I have a clinic, and then in another country I have a shopping center, and I have partners there, and then I have my medical partners here. It's very, very interesting.
And
And go ahead.
I say good at business, as you said, you have a shopping
Very
center.
good, yeah. But try to always have the spiritual values in the business. It's the most important thing. Yeah. Yeah, and I can be abrupt
Yeah.
with my speech.
You're a Bill Gates in the class. Maybe not.
Hope not.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions? It's good to get feedback because then you know whether it's working. This morning, one of the students, she was Hasta, and she said, I do everything with my hand. Her work, she's a doctor, she works with her hands. There's some speciality where the hand precision is very important. So, and she's a cellist, so plays music. So sometimes, you know, you see these qualities emerging. So now we come to Vishakha. And Vishakha is the only nakshatra that has two deities. And here, this is Indra and Agni. There's this wonderful temple just next to Pondicherry, which has all the 27 nakshatras. So every time I go, I take the photographs and they maintain it as well. They have a huge Saturn, 27-foot tall Saturn. and all the nakshatras, and behind the nakshatra, the trees of the nakshatras and all the devatas. So here we can see Indra and Agni. Agni, you can see the fire on the head, and Indra is always with the elephant and Agni is with a goat. We met Agni in Kritika Nakshatra. Vishakha, V means to separate, Shakha means a school. Here the separation suggested in Vishakha is from materialism, and it's also Shakha is also a branch. So something, V also means poison. So Vishakha sometimes also has knowledge of poisons. You could say poison of the mind, poison, negative thinking. They know how to understand that. Visha means to enter, Kha means heavens. Vishakha stands for transformation and the aspiration to enter the heavens to connect with the eternal self. Vishakha's 20 degrees Libra to 3 degrees 20 Scorpio. So Vishakha is mostly in Libra. One pada is in Scorpio. Ruled by Jupiter, sign ruler is Venus and Mars in Libra and Scorpio. Deity Indra Agni, symbol is the archway. Animal is the tiger. And Jupiter is the first dasha if moon is in Vishakha. So Vishakha padas Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Taurus, Cancer is Pushkara. Taurus is Ashtamamsha. So now in Vishakha, we meet something very unusual, interesting, that you can have a planet in Taurus, Pada, Libra and Taurus, which is both Pushkara and Ashtamamsha. So this particular Taurus, which is 2320 to 2640 of Libra, it's a transformation zone. So that is an important factor. And the sixth cycle of development of the soul begins here. This is involvement and break from the world of tamas, which ends in crisis and the most difficult Gandanta of Jyeshta and Mula. So you see, you are from Leo, from Magha, you're getting more and more attached to things. And then you feel, no, I don't need that. I want to change. And so the change is not so easy because what you're attached to is difficult to let go. So here we have Devata Agni. You can see is all fire, and Agni is riding the goat or ram, and Devata Indra. Indra, Agni are two power deities of Vedas. Both deal with excesses of power, but their ability to transform for more spiritual gain. Also, Indra, Agni both can also have excesses of sexual power. So they can be sometimes overdoing that, but they have the capacity to change. Agni is the god of fire, acceptor of sacrifices. The sacrifices made to Agni during Vedic rituals go directly to the gods because Agni is the messenger from and to the gods. Agni is ever young because fire is relit every day and is immortal. Indra is the king of the Devas, gods, lord of heaven, god of war, storms, and rainfall. Vritta, a demon, stole all the water in the world. Indra drank much soma to prepare for the battle with the huge serpent. He passed through Vritta's 99 fortresses and slew the monster and brought water back to earth. So you see, there's a struggle in Vishakha to overcome your weakness, to overcome your tamasic tendencies, and there will be something that all Vishakha are struggling with. Indra is the lord of senses, therefore enjoys sensuality and luxury. He gets into trouble by having an affair with Rishi Gautama's wife, Ahilya. He gets cursed to have 1,000 vaginas. So this is why I'm saying that Vishakha can be the sign, a nakshatra of sexual excess as well. Not everybody, but there's always a possibility. Realizing what has happened, he makes many sacrifices and practices austerities which allow him to overcome the curse and get 1,000 eyes. So, that transformation of mastery of your desire, mastery of your weakness also is part of Vishakha. Symbol is the doorway, archway, and this photograph I've taken at Thiruvannamalai. This is a very beautiful temple, and we always enter at this gate. And you see here, this was very early in the morning, I think like 5 a.m. or 4:30. So sun hadn't risen. But as you enter the temple, you step in and you see that divine energy there. But then when you enter inside, you find, oh no, that is just the outer doorway. Now we have to enter another doorway and another one. So the archway shows a soul at the threshold of spiritual development, a soul looking from their material world into a more spiritual one. They can remain spectators or decide to cross the archway. But usually for Vishakha, the moment they cross a threshold, another one comes. Actually, at the same Thiruvannamalai temple, you have to cross many doorways to finally you reach the sanctum. And it is true for all of us on a spiritual journey that we have to cross many doorways, many pathways that we experience. Yoni is the tiger. So we saw tiger also in Chitra, very independent, very fierce, hard to control, hard to manage. Also, they can hide or they can strut around. Both tigers, you can see two forms of the tiger. And there's a deity that is only in South India that people worship. Mostly it is only men who worship him, Lord Ayyappa. He rides the tiger. That means he, as a young boy, his stepmother sent him into the mountains, thinking that he'll be eaten up by the tigers. But he came back riding the tiger. And he's regarded as the son of Shiva and Vishnu. So very beautiful, powerful figure. And ruler is Jupiter. And what I've found in the nakshatras, that wherever there is a complicated journey to take, Jupiter rulership is there because he's the guide for helping us to go through the doorways to understand. Jupiter brings wisdom that eases the path on a new journey towards change and the ability to expand horizons to go beyond the present. Vishakha aspire to touch the heavens, therefore they can achieve a lot materially, but they can leave a residual sense of dissatisfaction. You see, because if you're touching the heavens, you want to touch the right heaven, not just material success. Jupiter guides Vishakha through this important stage where soul is willing and able to take aboard its lesson and change its outlook. Moon is debilitated in Vishakha, but actually Moon is debilitated in Scorpio Vishakha. 3 degrees of Scorpio is a debilitation of the Moon. And but normally we will say Moon is debilitated in Scorpio. And then in Vishakha Nakshatra. And Shani is exalted, 20 degrees of Libra, Shani is exalted. Here we can see Saturn riding a crow. On the left is Ketu and Rahu. Actually, I took this picture in a hurry. I never realized Rahu Ketu were there. It was only later on I realized what a beautiful deity picture it is. I haven't been back to this temple, so I can't retake the photograph. And it's in the sign of Libra and Scorpio. There's a major difference, Libra and Scorpio. Libra is looking for balance. And if you have moon in Libra, Vishakha, you're looking at, your desires and the balance between desire and spirituality, inner, outer, all the things. But in Scorpio, sometimes the balance disappears. So there's a lot more fixed ideas. Also, you can feel pulled into different directions rather than having a balance there. So here we have Beyonce's chart, and Beyonce, you can see Libra, Vishakha. Now, I think of Beyonce as a very powerful lady, and also the tigress. You could say she's very powerful, and she's also the Indra and Agni, the two deities. She's par personality there, and there you can see moon in Vishakha, Pada 3. Pada 2, Vishakha Pada 2 is the one that is Ashtamamsha. So she doesn't have that. So we have in the class Shunji. So you have moon Pada 2, and your ascendant is also Vishakha. You see, it's in a different sign, but you can see here ascendant. And moon is in Pada 2. So Pada 2 is the Ashtamamsha position. So it goes from Libra to Taurus, where it's exalted, but there's some maybe change in thinking, some change in ideas during your lifetime, and also to think about being very powerful. You have, we can see ascendant, moon, Saturn, and Ketu. So it's important for you to study Vishakha Nakshatra because you have so many planets there in Vishakha. And I don't see Lynn here. So anyway, so we can see here Lynn has moon in Vishakha, Libra Vishakha. So Libra Vishakha is more balanced. But here we see Mercury is also in Vishakha, moon. No, Mercury is an Anuradha, sorry. So just moon in Vishakha. And Mary, Jupiter, Venus and moon in Vishakha Nakshatra. Actually, Venus also very artistic in Vishakha. Venus in Libra, moon and Venus together usually gives a very romantic personality. But also the the spiritual journey you're on Mary. So there, I'm sure you've been through many thresholds. Each time you feel, I've reached, then there's a next one and the next one. That's what I find very beautiful about Vishakha. But strong personalities. Because why the two devatas, Indra and Agni, and also the tigress personality. And Sukanya, again, moon and Vishakha. So we have all Libra Vishakhas here. You have Pada 1 Vishakha. So you have the moon and Vishakha. And that is the Aries Pada of Vishakha. And so looking for balance and harmony, and what I said about being the tigress and being strong and powerful. So then we come to Anuradha. And Anuradha, this is Vishwamitra. Actually, I don't know, there's a single horse here. Anuradha means a small flash of lightning or a tiny spark. Here it suggests that it only takes a small flash of intuition or a tiny spark of consciousness that makes us aware of the connection with divine. It also means Anu, small, Radha, name of the beloved of Lord Krishna. Radha was a separate entity to Krishna but desires to merge with it. So Anuradha also very much seeking divine love. And sometimes for Anuradha, just like you light a lamp, you just light and you can light a fire. So sometimes in anybody's life, there's something that little spark that happens that you suddenly get aware of something more than whatever you are living. So Anuradha is totally in Scorpio, 3 degrees 20 to 1640 Scorpio, ruled by Saturn. Sign ruler Mars, deity is Mitra. Symbol is the lotus, animal is deer. And first dasha Saturn if moon is placed there. The padas of Anuradha, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. Scorpio is Vargotama and Virgo is Pushkara. So the Devata Mitra rules daylight. Mitra means friends, which unites the opposite. It unveils the experiences of the night, the time spent by an individual in harnessing their power. In Anuradha, it exposes the latent potential that has become hidden by life engulfed in materialism. Mitra helps us to get rid of our darkness by giving us light. So here you can see that this is Surya again. We have the lotuses in his hand and the 7 horses. So in Scorpio, if your moon is in Anuradha, it's a very special place to be born in that particular zone. The symbol is the lotus. Lotus seeds in the mud and flowers towards the sun. So the belief is this, that lotus or spirituality can flower anywhere. If you ever see the real lotuses flowering, it's not very beautiful. It's not a beautiful place, but doesn't mean that you have to be in ideal circumstances to find spirituality. Once it has flowered, it withers away and goes back to the mud, where it will root again to repeat the process. Yoni is the deer. Now, deer is very restless. Usually they equate the deer to the mind. And here we see the deer very restless. Sometimes for Yoni here, they also give the rabbit. But rabbit also is rushing around doing things. Deer also very swift. So swift thinking, but also a lot of restlessness of the mind. Saturn rules this nakshatra. So Saturn is always reminding us of our karma, our duty, responsibility. And the Rashi is Vrishchik, Scorpio. So in all the Scorpio nakshatras, you have to be a little bit careful not to be vindictive or negative, because the Scorpio can sting. It can have a sting in the tail. And here we have Bob Marley, the great reggae musician. And you see he has a moon at 4 degrees of Scorpio. So that is just into Anuradha nakshatra. And actually in Scorpio, the Lord Mars is exalted in his chart. So, and there we can see Anuradha. And definitely, the mind is unsettled, and he died very young. So he was maybe trying to settle his mind with more, different ways of following of the divine. But if you don't know of him, I think his famous song is No Woman, No Cry. And I Shot the Sheriff. It's a very revolutionary type of transformative music he had. And it's still, he's eternal. But you can see here Mars, Mercury in Uttarashada. Sometimes when you're looking at the chart, it's something else shouts at you, you know, that there's something else there in the chart. So Zoe here, we can see Anuradha moon, and moon is in Anuradha. It is also Vargotama. And also you can see here sun and moon in Anuradha. Sometimes, and Venus is also in Anuradha. Sometimes when sun and moon are together in a nakshatra, it almost is more dominating than your ascendant, because that is like another signature for you. And in Zoe's case, the sun is not Vargotama, but moon is Vargotama. Venus is also in Anuradha. So there's a idealism about Anuradha. They are seeking that divine love. Sometimes they can seek it in the wrong way, wrong person or wrong way. So you have to be a little bit careful about that. So any questions, comments, anything? Okay. So we don't have anybody in the class with Jyeshta Nakshatra. And here we see Jyeshta, and you can see the elephant here. Mostly elephant is with Indra or with Jupiter. So there are two places you can have, but this is Indra. And Jyeshta means elder, also elder sister, middle finger, holy river Ganges. It has a steam attached to it. In India, elder sister is looked at great respect, as she's like one's mother. The river Ganges is said to wash away all your negative karma. Jyeshta is all in Scorpio, 1640 to 30 degrees. It's ruled by Mercury. Sign ruler is Mars. Deity is Indra. Symbol is the earring. Animal is deer. And first dasha Mercury if moon is placed there. So Jyeshta Pada, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Jyeshta ends in Gandanta, a greatly challenging position for transformation and change. So Jyeshta Devi, she's sometimes people talk about her as the wife of Saturn, sometimes the sister of Saturn, sometimes the elder sister of Lakshmi. But you see here, she is the only deity they show as little healthy. You can see she's nicely padded. Or mostly all the deities, they'll show very slim and perfect bodies, but Jyeshta is, big, larger than life, you can say. And Jyeshta Devi, elder sister, is considered to bring misfortune to people. But she has been misrepresented, as she represents Tyag, sacrifice of the elder sisters, so that the younger siblings are happy. But also Jeshta Devi is when truth, uprightness, fairness are sacrificed in family or work life, one is accosted by one or more of the 64 misfortunes. So the misfortune doesn't, she gets blamed for it, but doesn't come to you because you're behaving perfectly. It only comes to you if you are doing corruption, negative behavior. Sahadeva, he's from Mahabharata, great worshipper of Jeshta Devi and one of the Pandavas, never sacrificed these precious values or virtues thanks to his sincere worship of Jeshta Devi. So in Tamil Nadu, where worship of Jeshta Devi is quite popular, politicians go to worship her, but you know, they have to lead a pure life. Just worshiping her is not enough. Again, it's very rare to find her statues, but this one is a 7th century carving of her in Kanchipuram. And so this is a website, agastya.org. It has amazing information of Jeshta Devi and her secret power. So actually, if you go Jeshta Devi, just Google that, or you put agastya.org, you'll find this Jeshta Devi, written in 2008. But actually, I read this and I found this temple for Jeshta Devi, visited it, and then, it's a very special energy. Now, Jeshta is ruled by Indra. So Indra is considered the god of the gods. Indra controls our senses, Indriyas, has the power to control our senses. This power achieved after hard toils, penance, and difficult lessons. I told you some lessons about him in Vishakha. He can enjoy sensuality and pleasures of life as he's privy to the secrets of how to master them. So Indra actually overcome 99 fortresses to kill that Vritasura that nobody could kill. So in our more spiritual self, we can say that Jeshta is trying to kill our own negativity, our tamasic desires, our negative desires. So, but it's a long battle. It's not something that you can just instantly win. And this photograph of Indra has got the elephant with white elephant, that is Indra's, and he's got number of trunks as well. Most of the pictures I've taken, so sometimes I'll take from the web. So a symbol is the earring, but it's not an ordinary earring. It is what is called a kundal. Kundal is like you wear in, it's a round earring, and it's given to those people when they have mastered their kundalini. So there's a mastery attached to this nakshatra. It's not a beautiful earring. It's and the ruler is Buddha. Mercury's curiosity encourages people with planets in Jeshta to look beyond man-made barriers and intellectually accept the spiritual path. So Mercury is ruling Ashlesha, now Jeshta. It's always ruling areas of life where you have to stretch your intellect. You have to look beyond any barrier that your thinking is putting for you. And Vrishchik Rashi, so always with Vrishchik Rashi, you have to be careful that you are not stinging somebody or you get aggravated and sometimes create problems for yourself. But Vrishchik is also very spiritual, very transformative sign. We don't have anybody in this class with Vrishchik. Yoni is the deer. So here the deer is also very restless, moving around. The mind is unsettled. So we could be having the help to settle the mind. The chart I have for Jeshta is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is the great golfer. And as Jeshta, he's elder, respected, but also he had a lot of problems with affairs and women and reputation damage because of that, but he managed to overcome it. That is the thing that Jyeshta can do. They can get into trouble, but they can overcome the trouble as well. And there you can see Jyeshta. He's not Gandanta here. He's 28, 48 Gandanta. You have to be a bit more. And Jyeshta Mula Gandanta is the toughest one. Jennifer Aniston, you can see she's 29 degrees 50. So she's right sitting at the edge of the vortex. Very complicated energy. You see that it's not necessary that she is not materially successful. She's well-known actor. Friends was her big TV, and then she still makes a lot of movies. But it's the emotional storminess that we don't see that this degree would bring. And there we can see Jyeshta, Pada 4. And the last nakshatra today we are doing is Mula. Mula means the root. Mula suggests that we are the root of all our problems as well as the blessing of all our good fortunes. We are rooted in the physical objective and the material, while our aspirations may be for subtle and psychic. Mula is 0 to 3 degrees 20 Sagittarius, ruled by Ketu. Sign ruler is Jupiter. Deity is Niriti. Symbol is elephant's goad. Animal is the dog. And first dasha is Ketu if the moon is placed there. Mula Pada, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Cancer is Ashtamamsha. 7th cycle of development of the soul begins here. This is involvement into the world of Sattva, from where the soul is inspired to move towards purity. You see, the tamasic world ends at Scorpio and Sattvic world starts at Mula. So that breaking of that world, that is what the problem is between Jyeshta and Mula. So Mula is called Abhukta Mula. Not all of Mula, but the Gandanta portion. Abhukta means unlucky. Bhukta is to experience, eat. Abhukta means not to experience or eat. This is a very challenging position for moon and planets to be placed in. From 29 degrees 12 Scorpio Jyeshta to 48 minutes of Sagittarius Mula is the changeover position from Tamas to Sattva. This changeover is intense and can be extremely difficult. Now this Abhukta Mula we could have in our chart, or we could experience it through transits. So in 2017, 18, and 19, we experience Saturn going through Abhukta Mula. We experienced Ketu going through there. We experienced Jupiter going through it. So, as you know, that from 2020, world had quite a crisis. So that we don't necessarily have it in our chart, but these are very sensitive degrees. The main problem is if you have moon placed there, you can lose support from parents, kith and kin for no fault of yourself. So you have to develop your personality yourself. I have not found people in Abhukta Mula unlucky, but more that they are struggling with major emotional blocks. So Jennifer Aniston, even the singer Adele, she also has Abhukta Mula, but they are both super successful ladies, but there are some emotional issues, you could say. If one stays on the path of truth and does not sacrifice honor and dharma, then it will bring blessings to the person. But the temptation can be so real and we can lose ourselves. The connection to the two fierce goddesses, Niriti and Jyeshta, mean the average person can get controlled by fear and not see the more benign motherly aspect of these deities. So Mula Padas are Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Gemini. Cancer is Ashtamamsha, and the seventh set level of development of Sattva is beginning here. And the Devata is Niriti or Nirita. Nirita is the male version, and here we see Nirita. This photograph I took at the Asian Arts Museum in San Francisco, and very rare to find Nirita or Niriti. And here you can see is all the jewelries of snake. You can see here also crown of snakes here on the arm also all around. So that's sort of very mystical. Niriti is the goddess of death and destruction. This personifies the destruction of material sheets, creating the foundation on which the spiritual unfoldment can undertake. Also, sometimes these goddesses are raw energy, and you have to transform that raw energy to something beautiful. But if you don't transfer it, then it can be difficult. The pain experienced by the influence of Mula changes the personality. This is the nakshatra of initiation towards spiritual realization. You cannot say that Mula is you have realized yourself, but you are now trying to progress towards it. Niriti is Mula, the positive deity, is form of Dakshina Kali. So a lot of times people worship goddess Kali. And this is a Kali, goddess Kali from my temple in Chandigarh, the one I go to when I'm in Chandigarh. Kali grants us this eternal life. Yes, the eternal life has a price. Only that which is immortal can be immortal, as nothing can change its own nature. The mortal and transient must pass away. To gain eternity, that is Kali, a mortal nature must be sacrificed. Kali appears frightening, destructive to the ordinary vision. But one of the weaknesses of Mula is that sometimes they can be self-destructive. You have to be very careful because it's a nakshatra of transformation. But you may not be ready to totally destroy everything. You have to think about that. Mula demands that we sacrifice our human desires to move on the path of divine. This experience can be fearsome for those who are not ready for this sacrifice, enlightening for those who are. Symbol is the elephant's goat. And this photograph I took in Kerala. And it's the elephant, and the man next to him is called a Mahut. Mahut are the guardians of the elephant, of domesticated elephants, and they are, you could say, elephant whisperers. And here we see the Ankush, it's called the goad, and it's got a little prodding thing. The elephant's goad is used to guide the elephant in the correct direction. The elephant is so large and unwieldy, it needs a little prodding to go in the right direction. Similarly, Mula soul issues on earth are large and stuck in ways. The prodding helps us to go on the right path. Normally, these mahuts, they don't prod the elephant. They'll just kiss it or they whisper something in it and the elephant understands. This is just in extreme circumstances. But as an individual, you know, we can feel that prodding. Also, the elephant's skin is very thick. So sometimes, you know, we can develop an immunity, like we are thick and we don't want to change our ways. So then Mula can do that. And this is another photo. This is from the Asian Arts Museum. This is Lord Ganesha with his Ankush here. The elephant's goad is used to guide the elephant in the correct direction. In people, this represents the prodding pain we have to search in, to change our direction. It's not an easy thing to change life's direction. Yoni is the dog. Now the other dog is in Ardhara Nakshatra. And remember that the dog is a very fierce animal, the wild dog. We are used to the domesticated dogs, but the good news is that the dog can be domesticated and can be trained. So a Mula personality can train themselves, not to be destructive, to transform themselves. And Bhairava, he's a angry form of Lord Shiva. He has a dog as his transport. And Ketu is the ruler here, is fulfill its role as moksha planet by arousing the soul towards its ultimate destination. Mula connects with past lives, but not all of the past is relevant today. They are seeking answers that will complete the inner picture, give answers to the missing puzzle. And it is, of course, all in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the sign of the guru. And here we have Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was a famous actor, but he totally went on a self-destructive path. And you can see his moon. He's not Gandanta moon, but his moon is in the 8th house in Mula Nakshatra. So this is something with Mula, I'm always warning my Mula clients that not to be destructive, not to overdo things, and here we see moon in Mula, Pada 1. And that's it for today. And next week is our last Mula journey. And let's see who's in Mula in the class. Sabrina is a Mula, Pada 1. So with Mula, you always have to see Ayu Gandanta, but here it's 1 degree 35. Gandanta is up to 48 minutes, but still, mostly with Mula, you'll see once in their lifetime, at least they'll change their complete life. So you have to be careful about that. I prefer that you trim your tree of life rather than just destroy it, because then later on you can trim it some more, improve your life, not to totally be drastic in your changes. And Yunnan, again, Yunnan, you have a Gandanta moon. So 16 minutes of Sagittarius. So it's very important for you to have a spiritual lifestyle, spiritual choices, because the mind can be very unsettled and transformative as well, can change and transform. But it's right at that edge. So sometimes you don't get the right support. So next week, we complete this long journey of nakshatras, and I look forward to seeing you there. Any questions, anything?
Yeah, Kumalaji, I have a question.
Yeah, Atmajyoti.
So in terms of the Abukamula, I wonder if what happened if Jupiter is placed in Abukamula, the Ganchata position.
Yeah, actually they don't, it's an unsettled Jupiter if Jupiter is placed there. Sometimes it's the moon's position that is the more regarded as a Bhukta Mula. But Jupiter placed there means sometimes you don't get the right advice, or you feel unsettled through what you want to do in life. So that is the placement to Jupiter right at the beginning of Sagittarius. So you have to be careful not to try to destroy the knowledge you have, but maybe destroy the ignorance you have.
Right, I see. Thank you.
Okay. So I shall see you all next week. Thank you very much. Namaste.